project management professional from PMI US, chartered engineering from Institute of Engineers India, Bachelor of Engineering from in electronics from Raipur, core competencies in projects with 17 years of achievements in various world-class projects to study state operations in mental process, manufacturing industries, and smart building with automation and digitization. Just a minute. On hai na? He is employed with Vedenta Group as head strategic projects and business excellence, agile in change management, keen to work and develop cross-culture team with problem-solving approach and extroversions for new environment and systems with positivity and value propositions. He has achieved different professional awards, several professional awards. Chairman Award in May 2021, Star of Business in 2007, Star of Vedanta in 2014, various placement-based awards in 2006, 2007, 2015, 16, and 17. His current working experience includes the head strategic projects 2020 onwards. He has headed different strategic projects on the topics renewable energy projects, market positioning and brand perception of BMC, VMRF, precise BMC facilities, supercritical COVID projects in just 18 days. In last year, he has built 100 bedded projects, 100 bedded in Pan India location. He has built 100 bedded hospital in just 18 days. Industrial brownfield 0.414 MTPA alumni project conceptualization, market capitalization of BMC, IBMS through IoT, digitization projects. He has joined the Zambia, Vedanta Resources Zambia as head planning improvement projects in 2019-20, head projects MEP Raipur from 2014 to 18 and integrated smart building projects. He has headed the project on LEED certified green infrastructure project MEP, had projects AI GFCH complex, had projects AI rolled projects under Vedanta Resource Korba, head of the role projects at capacity augmentation projects from 60 KTPA to 1 LTPA with value 1.97 billion. He has added different 4 different projects, and he has added the Vedanta Resources Balco as head projects automation and digitization from 2006 to 8. Under them, he has 2 projects on VSSS project phase 1, Vikram Sarabhai Space Center, and VSSS project phase 2, Vikram Sarabhai Space Center. Vedanta Resource Balco, hot metal automation project foundry from 2005 to 2006. Electrical and instrumentation of foundry shop. So again, a very warm welcome, Mr. Abhishek Dubey, for this the next session. And today he will deliver lecture on project leadership and management. So a very warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. Thanks for your warm welcome. First of all, ma'am, it's a matter of proud and honor to be part of this faculty development program and has the chance to interact with all the faculties in just single go. I would like to thank Sri Shankaracharya University for inviting me, AICT Training and Learning, ATL-sponsored innovative technical education practices and academic leadership. And special thanks to you, madam, Dolly Shukla, for organizing, coordinating, and running the show upright. She has been calling us, all the speakers, all the time and reminding us about the dates and things in advance. It's a very tedious job, and I can relate to this. It's like a perfect project management job. So I congratulate you for this such a promising personality and delivering this event with such brightness. So I would and I'll go all the faculties, all the gurus, and I start my presentation by the topic of my presentation today is project management and leadership associated. So we'll try to learn something of project. We'll try to exchange something of projects and associated leadership with this. So I hope my slide is now presentable to you all. You all can see the slides. Hello, you all can see the slides? Okay. You can text me whether you can, my slides are visible to you or not.
Yes, yes, it is visible.
Okay. So this is my broad introduction, which Madam has given it very brightly. Now we'll see what basic conceptualizations of projects, what are the constraints of it, what are the tools of it, why this is called as project, how it is different from other things, and what are the stages of the project, and how this project management is terms been evolved during, from Indian Navy or from how this project management has evolved from military background to industry revolution, and then how this has come, what was the perception before and now what is the perception of project, what is the specific focus steps of project management quality assurance, and then see the leadership associated with this, why the leadership is required and why this leadership is required to the students, and why should teachers be involved in this from the very first steps. Okay, so let's start. So I would like to share some before starting the presentation. I would like to discuss about this Draupar Yug, when Shri Krishna gave the knowledge of Gita to Arjun, when he was so confused and he was so he reminded him about his duties, what to be done, what is the righteous form, what should be, why he should fight the battle, and with grace he should fight the battle because for the righteous things. So this is one part of what Sri Krishna gave to Arjun, and at the same time Arjun only to Arjun, because Arjun was only there to accept it. Okay. Now we see in Chandragupta Maurya, Chanakya observed a child of in the Patliputra and observed him and inculcated him with all the enlighten him with the duties, what should be done, how should be done, and he inculcated him and became him. Ultimately, he became the king one day. He established Maurya Empire. So this is how a teacher and a student should be. At the same time, we have another example how Vivekanand, with his teacher, with his guru, Ramakrishna Paramahams, get the knowledge and he enlighten him and get the transformation. So what I want to say here is why only Paramhans enlightened the Swami Vivekananda. Why Chandragupta adopted only? Why Chandragupta was adopted only by Chanakya? Why only Chanakya adopted Chandragupta? Why not to others? Why Krishna gave the Gyan only to Arjun, not to Bhim, not to Duryodhan? So we'll come to this. First of all, I would like to say all the teachers who has given the knowledge and has made them king. And at the same time, I had the opportunity today to interact with you all the teachers. So I go to you, because if you were not there, we would have not been, the innovations has not come into the world. So thanks for innovating, inculcating the personalities, and thanks for teaching us, thanks for upbringing us. Now, why Arjun only? So Arjun also has specific things with Krishna and Krishna with Arjun. So why? And there has been a frequency reference between Swami Vivekananda and Ramakrishna Paramahans. Both the frequency were matched, and that's called resonance. That's only the knowledge can be transformed. So I think for any kind of knowledge or session, there should be two sets of people. One who are ready to share, and the other who are actually willing to accept it. Then only we can interact, then only transformation can happen. So this is what I want to say. And in case of Swami Vivekananda, there was a perfect resonance. That's how things were. He was enlightened with the knowledge. So I think these are the duties of a teacher and also the duty of a student who are the attendees. So we will try to make a resonance today, isn't it? Okay. So I would like to start my presentation with, you see, there are various functions in a typical corporate setups. You see lot of setups are there. There are some production teams are there who make the plant upright, who make the actual product output, shop floors. So can you, anyone of you, tell me what all different setups are there in a typical manufacturing or a process unit? Like the production unit is there. Apart from production unit, is there any other unit like commercial for buying the materials, raw materials, logistics, inbound, outbound services, etc. Marketing is there, PR, branding, advertisement, digital, everything is there. Sales divisions are there who actually goes and sell the material. Finances are there who actually control all the audits and everything. The legal department is there. There are many departments. You can write what all different setups are there. Human resource department is there, and there are many other departments like corporate communication, relations, safety, security, admin. Now, can anybody of you tell me, in all these departments and extra other departments, where is actually the operations? Which department is conducting the operation, and which is the operation department in all of these? You can text. Okay, so I'm not able to see that. Hello, I'm not okay. Hand production. Okay. No. Any more replies? Operation. Where is operation? I just want to know where is operation. You see, operation is there in all the departments. If you do anything daily, or which is standard process of doing it, like commercial has to float the inquiry and get the quotation. So they have inputs are his inquiries and the outputs will be the quotations. Similarly, the marketing team makes the brand, makes the banners, and then they post it again. So every department, there is a finance, they get the inputs from the different departments, and then how he manages the finance. So every department has its own set of protocols of doing the things, and every department has operation. So, and to say what is operation is any process, the function that transform input to output with a greater value is a process. And operation is about doing the process is called operation. So it's not about planning and just not about planning and controlling. It's about doing is the operation. Any process being followed is operation. So managing these processes is at operation management. Now I'll tell you example. Suppose if you make tea for yourself and you make tea daily for yourself, what is the difference? When I make a tea, I do not make tea. So when I make tea for myself, I have to go for this tea leaf somewhere and then sugar. So I will be putting all these things together and then processing it, and that will be transformed into tea. So input, when we transform to output, this transformation is called process. So I'll tell you this is how the process of any process is. Okay. But if this is the process, if this is the operation, and operation is everywhere, can any one of you tell me what is management? To understand the operation management. Yes. Okay. Management is fundamentally the way of dealing to improve efficiency and effectiveness of the system by saving time, effort, and cost. It's a time factor, we call it TEM. In any kind of improvement, you have to look for three parameters only: time, effort, and money. If you're optimizing it, if you're optimizing time, or if you're optimizing effort, or if you're optimizing the cost, ultimately you're increasing the effectiveness of the system or the efficiency. Now, when it's a management, so when we put management in our operations, it becomes operation management. If any operation you're doing it, and by the way of your doing it, the way of your dealing with the operation, and you're able to improve it, you're able to improve the efficiency or the effectiveness by reducing the errors or reducing the cost or the time involvement, you are actually that's called as operation management. So I think the key takeaways are clear. Operation is a series of activities where a value chain is extending from a supplier to customer. Series of supply chain, when there is a supplier, there is a customer, and you are doing a transformation, adding value and giving, that is operation. Now, operation management is in this supply chain management, whatever things which are surplus and are not adding value can be eliminated. And if you are eliminating those things, this supply chain becomes the value chain, and that is the operation management. So I'll tell you an example. Suppose now my wife is taking a tea. She makes tea daily, so she has all the mapping sense that here is the tea leaves, here are the sugar, so she can cook the tea faster than me. She is saving on time and obviously on quality as well. So she is doing the operation management. She's the operation manager. She can make it fast better. Okay, so operation management is everywhere. Suppose you get up for your office daily. Suppose you go to your office daily, so you know the route. For example, the parking your vehicle in your premises is kind of operation management, because I cannot park your vehicle in your premises that efficiently that you can, because you're doing it daily. You have acquired the skill, the acumen you have. Exactly after 15 seconds, you have to turn and then put a brake, and then so that is operation management. Whereas if somebody else will be doing it, who knows the driving, who knows the parking, he will be just doing the operation. Whereas you doing it efficiently is the operation management. Okay. So if you see, improving the operation is operation management, and improvement is a continuous process. Improvement itself is a continuous process. So operation management is perpetual. So we have seen, in Japanese tech, that they started with 5S, then they went to 6 Sigma, then lean management, then Kaizen, then they keep learning and then they keep moving. So operation management is continuous management. It's a continuous management. It's continuous. It's a perpetual. It's never stopping. Okay. So it's a routine work. When the routine work has been performed with efficiency, it's the operation management. Okay. I hope I'm clear in this. Sorry. So now I'll give you some more examples. Can anybody of you tell me what is this? This picture is. This is a satellite view of this between Sri Lanka and in South India. It's of the Treta Yug, which was built in Treta Yug. It's a Ram Setu bridge. The stories are there. I just want to tell you. I want to ask you, if it is so, is it a routine work? Is it a continuous work that still we are building it? Is it an operation or it is not an operation? Just quickly, can anybody tell me, is it an operation or it is not an operation? No. Since, okay, I'll give you some more examples. Can anybody tell me what is this? This is a river, and above this river there is a bridge, and then this bridge also there is some water bodies, a kind of river. So is it a routine work? Have you seen these bridges everywhere? Are the construction agency made it like a industry project? No, it's a unique setup. So it's a Elbe bridge. It's a channel made over the Elbe bridge in Germany. It's a unique setup. Okay, I'll show you some more. What is this? Do you know this bridge? This, anybody of you, please start testing. See, this is the highest bridge ever. It is made in France, in Millau Viaduct Bridge. It is the highest bridge in the world with 343 meters height. It is made in France. It's a unique setup. Similarly, this setup is also one of the unique setups. Anybody can relate to this? Anybody knows about this? This is, it has been recorded in Guinness of World Record. It is the longest bridge ever made. Okay. So what I want to say that how these things are different from the routine operations and the operation management. These unique setups, these type of things, when you do it something unique, some unique process, some unique delivery, some unique services you're delivering, that all comes under project. So what is project? A temporary endeavor taken to create a unique product, to create a unique product or service or any kind of result. A temporary endeavor. The bridge was started constructing in 2000, say in 1990s, and in 2011 it was delivered. So there was some timeline, some scope of work, and then there was a temporary endeavor taken to create a unique facility, it's a project. Now, when we say unique, every new construction is a unique project. Every house is different from the other house. Okay, that so project will see what kind of different projects are there in the world. So for constructing any project, we have seen therefore doing anything we require three fundamental things: time, effort, and money. Now let's see in projects what are the three constraints. One is the time, second is the cost, and third is the scope. You can see the time and the cost for any project to define. You have to define it with the budget is this much, 100 crores or 500 crores or 1 rupees or whatever. What is the scope? I have 10 rupees. My daughter she has a project. She has a 10 rupees. What she can do? She with the 10 rupees she can go up to the next lane behind my road, and then she can buy new chocolate. She can seek new chocolate. So it's a project for her. So projects can be of any type, but the constraints will be three, fundamentally three: time, cost, and the scope. What need to be done? Okay, there are some steps. Generally, any projects, it's been these steps has been recognized by all the universities and by PMP certification and PMI. Initial step: planning, execution, monitoring, and control, and the closing. We'll see these steps in details later. If you see, if you start with the planning phase, if you start with the initial, whether the project has to be done or not to be done. Okay, if it has to be done, what should be the planning? So you see, before the execution, when the project started, the project life cycle has more time been involved in the planning. What to be done, how to be done. So you see in this graph, in any project, the planning phase eats up a lot of the time. And then after that, with some less amount of time, the execution goes up. The product life cycle ramps up during the execution phase because everything been set. What to be done is known. Then you started executing it. And then after, once the execution been done, like your house, once you plan where to buy, how to buy, what should be done, how to be done, what should be the locality, this should be the locality, that should, this is all planning phase. And once you decided this house to be bought, this land to be developed, then you start building the foundation. So this all takes steps. Once the foundation work is over, then you start building the brickwork and the slab casting, and these things are very faster, very, very faster as compared to the previous steps. And then once everything has been done, you go for finishing your house. That takes a lot of time. So that's a typical project life cycle. We call it as a S curve. It is in an S shape. It's about between the time and the completion. Whereas the effort distribution, if you'll see, the peak when the brickwork was going on, the slab was casting, the effort was more. Planning was less, but the effort was more. Lot many workmen was there, employed, lot many. In planning, only 2 or 3 family members were there in building a house, but during the construction, lot many workmen were there working. So if you see in a project, the effort time is the mid time, and because if you can correlate it, because the effort was high, that's why the completion was ramping up in less time. So the board can be related. Okay. Now I'll give you some examples of some greenfield projects. Somebody's Dr. V.S. Saab, you want to speak something? Dr. Saab, you want to speak something? You want to say something? Okay. I saw your hand raised. Okay. Now I'll give you some examples of typical industrial projects. Okay, let me share it once again. Typically, there are three types of projects in industrial domain. If you talk, there are three types of projects: are greenfield projects, brownfield projects, and improvement projects. I'm talking about a typical industry setup, a process industry, like for example, aluminum industry or copper industry or a metal industry or ferrous industries, iron plants or whatever. So there, fundamentally, if you go for a project for construction of a big project, you have three kinds of projects: greenfield projects, brownfield projects, and the improvement projects. Improvement projects are greenfield projects are, first I'll tell you, there is a barren land, nothing is there, no life has been there. So you will go, you will start building something, and then you will connect. The road has to be built, everything is made. The entire infrastructure need to be built up around the area where there was nothing. It was only green before. So that's the greenfield project. Brownfield projects are, suppose there were already establishment were there, and now you are being asked to demolish the old construction. Suppose there were technology, Soderbergh technology, which is polluting the environment. So you are being asked by the government norms and everything. So you have been obligated to demolish the old plant, and then you have to create a new plant. So it's a combination of greenfield but with demolition. That's a brownfield project with the nature of the color. So greenfield project, brownfield project, and there are improvement projects as well. Suppose a factory is producing 60,000 tons, but you have to find out the loopholes where the debottlenecking, where the projects, where the line has got the issues, and then you have to come up with the debottlenecking steps, and you then eradicates the superfluous items of that line, and then you make it an improvement project. You increase the capacity of the plant, or that's come under improvement projects. Or in service industry, we call it as performance improvement. Okay. So you need to find out this project is okay, then why this project, specific team of project management is being made. Project management is the same like operation. When you increase, if you want to increase the efficiency and the effectiveness of the operation management is being conducted. Similarly, if there is a project, a unique, a temporary endeavor to deliver some product or some services, you have to make a project. So for this, a particular set of people will be there, a management team will be there, who will be working out to effectively deliver it in less time, less effort, and less capital. In any of the three will be optimized, the project overall value will be optimized. So that's why project management set of people are entirely different team. So now why there was no project management before? This all been introduced in last 20-30 years only. We'll see how this evolution has been done. Project evolution started with the Gantt chart. Project evolution in 1917, the Gantt chart was made by Henry Gantt. It's a series of network diagram, what all activities to be done, इस एक्टिविटी के बाद में क्या करना है, इस एक्टिविटी के पहले क्या करना है. It's a network flow diagram. Okay, Gantt chart is used for scheduling. We'll see if it is required. Then there is an agency called American Association of Cost Engineers. Cost has to be involved. How much cost need to be involved in? They standardize it. For any kind of project, the engineering cost need to be around 4 to 5%. Engineering cost. Engineering means for making the design, for making the how the layout will be, how the scheme will be, what should be the detailed project. So if they AECE standardize the things and they come up in 1956 that we have standardized the things. Now this is the benchmark. That's how the project should be. But it is also an evolution. See. Then the critical path method came. Which activity, which set of activities like this set of activities, where the other set of activities have been made. So this particular set of activities which is taking the highest time is the critical path. So our point is to find the critical path and find the alternative of that activities. मान लो किसी ये काम को करने में 10 दिन लगेगा, ये काम को करने में 15 दिन लगेगा, काम को 20 दिन लगेगा, तो इस पर्टिकुलर काम को पहुंचने में हमको तो 100 दिन लग गया. तो इस पर्टिकुलर काम को करने में, इन सेट ऑफ काम को करने में जब 100 दिन लग गया, तो इस 100 दिन में तो हमारी प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी. तो हमको ऐसे क्या करें कि ये काम 100 से कम दिन में कर लें. सपोज इस काम को हम 100 से कम दिन में कर लिए, 90 दिन में कर लिए, तो हम देखते हैं उस ओवरऑल प्रोजेक्ट को कंप्लीट होने में कुछ अदर सेट ऑफ एक्टिविटीज है व्हिच आर टेकिंग 92 days. नाउ द क्रिटिकल पार्ट हैज बीन चेंज्ड. जो पहले 100 दिन वाला था उसको आपने 90 दिन में कर दिया, लेकिन जो दूसरा था जो 92 दिन वाला था, जो 92 days वाला था, वो अब क्रिटिकल पाथ बन गया. नाउ द क्रिटिकल पाथ विल कीप चेंजिंग and you will keep optimizing the timeline. So that's how the one of the method, keep in mind method. Similarly, there is PERT method. PERT method is like Gantt chart only, but you have to use in research technologies. I'm just giving you the names. You can, otherwise it will be very, very long. So that's how been evolved. You see, but I'm to tell you one thing, that why it is so. Project evolution and review technique came, how it came? It came from the US Polaris project. US Navy was making something, and out of those, they make up system called. That's how the project should be. All the kind of projects. It all comes from Indian Navy. It also comes from background. From this, I would like to tell you, everything has been started like with the wars, with the military only, with the armed forces only. Initially, then when there was Raja, Maharajas, and other people, the only engineering used to be done was making the war weapons. Somebody came with the sword, then somebody came with the this arrows that from distance you can fire. Then somebody, the engineering was evolved, and then people made the this thing fire guns, and then top, and everything was came into picture. So there was only engineering to be done for the wars, making the weapons. When this engineering come to the local people, non-military background people, they started with the demand of road, houses, construction. They call it military engineering, and then the other side was called as civil engineering. That's how the engineering has been evolved. So there was only military engineering, and the engineering like road, building, construction. This thing was civil engineering. Now we engineers evolved from this, started with this civil engineering. We said, okay, civil engineering, then mechanical engineering, and electrical engineering. So actually, what we call the concrete, cement was the only demand that time. So we call this civil engineering. Similarly, in project management is also evolved like that only. It all comes from your Navy, Air Forces for launching satellites, where the deadlines were there, when the cost was huge. That's how the project management has been evolved. Okay, we see then in 1962 there was a work breakdown structure. If there is a work to be done, entire project has been divided into two activities. Each activity is divided into tasks. Then each task has got a work breakdown structure, so that each and every small bit need to be found out where we can optimize. So work breakdown structure come into picture from the project completion. It was mandated. It is US Department of Defense, see, DoD introduced it. Then International Project Management Association came, said, okay, we have seen all these theories, and now we have made the standing benchmark. This should be the system in 1965. But people keep inventing. Then in 1969, this Project Management Institute came into picture, which has their own set of a guide of PMBOK. This is called Project Management Body of Knowledge. This is something which is still relevant. Okay, they provide two types of certification, PMP and CAPM, which has the most highly valued certification in this field of project management. Then there was some other call. Then after this, there was a revolution. There has been industry revolutions till date. There has been 4 industry revolutions till date. One was the invention of electricity. People started making the products with the help of electricity. Motor on के motor चालू हो गया, conveyor यहाँ संभाल के जा रहा है. It was a great invention. So it is called as the industry revolution. And then there was after this electricity, there came mass production. Assembly line has to be made, and then production has to be done on mass basis. That is economies of scale, where large volume can be converted, so that you can have a better value realization of a mass production. And then the third revolution came with the automation. Now, one machine is producing mass, and then one machine data should be interfaced with the other machine, so that second machine will be, by the time the product will be ready, when my bottle will be ready, by the time the packing machine will be ready. So packing machine will start. So automation came as a third revolution. But today, today is the era of industry fourth revolution. Fourth revolution is all about digitalization. Okay. So any industry, anything keep evolving. Similarly, this project management project management stream has been started with the defense, and then gradually it went to the IT software, where the maximum projects have been done. Okay, in IT industry, the service industry, but many all the projects they have a timeline. So they also keep studying it. They also try to come up with all the solutions, and they also try to contribute in project evolution, project management evolution system. So IT industry has a lot of things they have done. So I just don't want to go into details. I just want to show you a picture, a broad picture that how the project management has been evolved from defense to IT, and then from IT to generic for all the industries. Because defense is something which is very, very, very hardcore, hardwired things, and IT is something which is totally software. It's a service industry. So when this industry and this industry both collaborated, they made the system has been evolved, which is very generic, which the PMI and others are doing nowadays. So you just see the this thing, standard book for project management. Who has made it? It has been made by the defense. Then Prince has come. Then Prince 2 has come. Okay. Anyway, so I don't want to get into all these calculations and all, because we have a diversified set of people. But you can search about this performance check, how EVM has been done, how SC is done, how CV is done. Okay. I just don't want to get into all these things. This is just for you to see, and then in later session, if you will allow me, I will come up with the detailed. For this, we require 3-4 hour session, I guess. Okay. So the traditional aspect of looking the project management office was project management required more people, profitability may decrease, increase the amount of scope. अगर हमारे पास टाइम एफर्ट और मनी तीन ही चीज लगानी है, तो हम और आदमी ले लिए, एक्स्ट्रा मैन पावर ले लिए, प्रोजेक्ट की सिर्फ पीएमओ को, प्रोजेक्ट के टेक्निकली इन्वॉल्व नहीं होंगे, बस वो पीएमओ देखेंगे, प्रोजेक्ट की मैनेजमेंट देखेंगे, तो फिर उसमें तो एक्स्ट्रा मैन पावर लगेगा, तो एक्स्ट्रा खर्चा हो जाएगा, एक्स्ट्रा ऑफिस बनाना पड़ेगा, एक्स्ट्रा इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर आएगा. That was the traditional aspect of looking the PMOs, project management offices. But the evolution, you see, many agencies have come up and with the final evolution in 2021. It has been observed as it allows to accomplish more work in less time with fewer. सब लोग अपना अपना काम करेंगे, लेकिन there should be a project manager who can say यार इसकी डेडलाइन इतना में थी, नहीं हुई, तुम्हारी डेडलाइन ये थी, रिसोर्स में कहाँ प्रॉब्लम है, मैन पावर बढ़ाना है. Someone who will take care of the project, not the technical things, but the management of the project. That's how your efficiency and cost been evolved. But he has to go through all aspects of project management. We will see the stages. Okay. Now I'll give you. I will run through a very fast project life cycle. What are the different stages? Any project is there. Suppose there are features like melting units will be there, casting units will be there. Lot of units will be there. Lot of the project area requires 120 acres of land, 135 acres of land, with the cost involving say $2 billion or something like this. So what will happen? I'll tell you what are the different stages. There is an initial phase, the planning phase, execution stage, quality, monitoring and control, and the closing stage. These are the typical 5 stages in any core project management stages there. In initial phase, you go to the market and see whether I am going to invest $2 billion a year. What is the demand in the market of this particular product, like this pen I am going to make? What is the demand of this pen in the market is? Is there any particular demand? Yes. The demand is XYZ. What is the supply at present in the market? Indian supply. Suppose I want to make it here in Raipur. So in India, this much amount of beans is there. Supply is there, people are producing it, manufacturing इतना हो रही है, supply इतनी हो रही है, लेकिन demand इतनी है, तो gap है. Okay, world में कितनी हो रही है, China कितना कर रहा है, बाकी world में कितनी demand, कितनी supply, बाकी लोग कहाँ पे कितना manufacturing कर रहे हैं, बाकी में कहाँ market में demand है. तो ठीक है, इंडिया में तो gap नहीं, इंडिया में तो हम सेल नहीं कर सकते, लेकिन हाँ, अफ्रीका में हम इसको ट्रांसपोर्ट करके बेचते हैं, तब भी हमको उससे प्रॉफिट बन सकता है. So market study is very particular. Is the first step of the project initialization. You have to go to the market and find out the study and find out the gap. Is there industry benchmarking? बाकी लोग कैसे कर रहे हैं? बाकी लोग कितना बना रहे हैं? 0.3 कहीं क्यों? अगर gap है 5 का, तो लोग 0.3 का 0.2 को क्यों बना रहे हैं? तो market study, benchmarking और competitor का study करने के बाद ही come up to solution. हाँ, लेकिन अब ये करना चाहिए, 0.5 मिलियन टन का बनाना चाहिए, लेकिन 0.5 मिलियन टन का क्यों बनाना चाहिए? क्या बनाएंगे तो फिजिबल है, हाँ जमीन है, बन सकता है, लेकिन फाइनेंशियली कितना वाइबल है? 0.5 मिलियन का लगाएंगे तो कितना वापस आएगा? तो हाँ, हम जो बनाएंगे तो बेचने का टारगेट सेगमेंट क्या रहेगा, प्रोडक्ट मिक्स क्या क्या रहेंगे, पेन के साथ में क्या पेंसिल बना सकते हैं, क्या पेन सिंपल पेन बनाएं, ऐसी वाली बनाएं कि ढक्कन वाली बनाएं, किस तरह की पेन बनाएं, कौन कौन से अलग अलग प्रोडक्ट मिक्स रहेंगे। तो दैट्स हाउ द प्लानिंग इनिशियल फेज बीन डन, देन वी स्टार्ट द प्लानिंग। कंसल्टेंट कौन रहेगा हमारा, पीएमसी कौन रहेगी, कंस्ट्रक्शन मैनेजर रहेगा, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट किसको देंगे, कॉन्ट्रैक्ट किस तरह करेगा, पूरा का पूरा एक कंसोलिडेट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट दे दें कि अलग अलग कॉन्ट्रैक्ट दें, जैसे कि आपकी शादी में होता है, जब आप कहीं खाना खाने गए, मान लीजिए सपोज कंसोलिडेट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट, you gave the consolidated contract for the reception on plate basis, ये मैं प्लेट बेसिस पे चार्ज करूंगा, नहीं मैं सब्जी अलग बनाऊंगा, मैं ये अलग बनवाऊंगा, मैं वो बोलूंगा, जो पहले होता था। पहले वो भी किया जा सकता है जिसमें आपका आपका पैसा तो बचेगा लेकिन आपकी टाइम लगेगी। तो यू हैव टू फाइंड आउट कि कौन सा जो है मॉडल ऑफ ऑर्डरिंग इज एफिशिएंट फॉर यू, अकॉर्डिंगली यू गो अहेड विद दैट। ओके, सो प्लानिंग करते हैं बहुत कुछ, फिर एग्जीक्यूशन स्टार्ट होता है। एग्जीक्यूशन में सेफ्टी इज मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट। आप सुनेंगे प्रोजेक्ट बन रहा है लेकिन आदमी गिर गया, तो सेफ्टी इज मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट नाउअडेज। देयर इज LTIFR, LTIR, लॉस्ट टाइम इंजरी, कितने आपके प्रोजेक्ट में लॉस्ट टाइम इंजरी कितनी हुई, इस तरह के सेफ्टी पैरामीटर्स होते हैं, उसके बिना आप मोबिलाइज नहीं कर सकते। स्टैट्यूटरी अप्रूवल्स होते हैं, गवर्नमेंट से अप्रूवल, सारे अप्रूवल लेने हैं, एनवायरमेंट क्लियरेंस लेना है, सब कुछ लेना है, देन यू कैन ओनली स्टार्ट। बाकी जो अदर स्टेक होल्डर्स है, सपोज आप वहां पे लगाने वाले हैं पर वहां पे ऑलरेडी कुछ गांव वाले थे, तो उनको आपको R&R करना पड़ेगा, उनको आपको रिहेबिलिटेट करना पड़ेगा, तब उस जगह को आप क्लियर कर पाएंगे, फिर स्टार्ट हो पाएगा प्रोजेक्ट। तो उस प्रोजेक्ट को करने के लिए पहले आपको एक और प्रोजेक्ट करना पड़ेगा, गांव वालों को शिफ्ट करने के लिए आपको उनके लिए घर बनाना। तो किस तरह के चैलेंजेस हैं, क्या है, तो डिपेंड करता है। फिर स्टार्ट एग्जीक्यूटिंग इट एंड देन मॉडरिंग इन कंट्रोल, and then afterwards everything has been closed, project is completed, you go and find out the punch list की इस पे ये, यहाँ पे ये दाग रह गया, वहां पे वो रह गया, पीजी पैरामीटर ठीक से हुआ नहीं, सब कुछ हो गया, काम खत्म हो गया। अब आपको कॉन्ट्रैक्टर के जितने भी मटेरियल आया सब बाहर गया, उसको पूरा को कंसोलिडेट करना है, रिकंसिलेशन करना है। रिकंसिलेशन करने के लिए आपको इट्स अ बिग टास्क, सो वी कैन हैव अ सेपरेट टॉपिक ऑन रिकंसिलेशन एज वेल। ये टिपिकल सेट ऑफ अप्रूवल्स है जो आपको गवर्नमेंट से लेना पड़ता है, एमओयू, लैंड लीज अप्रूवल, विकास अनुज्ञा, लेआउट अप्रूवल, बिल्डिंग कंस्ट्रक्शन, एनवायरमेंट क्लियरेंस, सैंक्शन ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिसिटी सप्लाई, वाटर कनेक्शन, फायर का एमसी लेना पड़ेगा आपको, लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स आर देयर, कंसेंट टू एस्टैब्लिश, कंसेंट टू ऑपरेट। ओके, so we can have a, we will just go through all these things very quickly. Then project demand has been established, then you have to go for financial feasibility reports, whether it is financially viable or not. Financial feasibility report can be done on 3 phases: payback period method, net value method. What is the net value? Suppose 100 रुपए मुझे हर साल मिलेगा, वो 100 रुपए मुझे अगले साल मिलेगा, उसके अगले साल 100 रुपए मिलेगा, उसके अभी मुझे 500 रुपए डालना है और हर साल मुझे 100 रुपए मिलेंगे। तो क्या ये वाइबल है? कैसे पता चलेगा आपको? आप ऐसे कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं, 5 डॉलर तो 5 साल बाद तो पैसा पूरा हो गया, उसके बाद तो आ गया। तो दिस पेबैक मेथड, ये ऐसा हो नहीं सकता। आपको यू हैव टू फाइंड आउट आज उस 500 रुपए की क्या वैल्यू है, कल क्या 500 रुपए 100 रुपए की वैल्यू, परसों। तो जो 100 रुपए जो आपको मिलने वाले हैं परपेचुअल बेसिस पे, उन सबको आपको डिस्काउंट करना पड़ेगा आज की रेट में, ताकि वो जो कल 100 रुपए मिलने वाला है उसकी आज की रेट में उसकी क्या कीमत है, परसों जो 100 रुपए मिलने वाला है उसकी आज की रेट में क्या कीमत है। 6% का तो इन्फ्लेशन है। You have to be financially, you have to be aware with all this technique. What is net present value of any cash flow? What is free cash flow to from? सिंपल कैश फ्लो नहीं, जो आपको कैश फ्लो हो रहा है उसमें टैक्स कितना लगेगा, उसमें बाकी चीजें क्या होंगी, आपने जो डेट लिया है, इक्विटी कितना है, आपने अपने पैसे लगाए हैं कि मार्केट से पैसे उठाए हैं, तो आपका वेटेड एवरेज कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल क्या है, कितना डेट है, कितना इक्विटी है, आपका मार्केट के साथ में आपका बीटा क्या है। सो सब ये बहुत ही बेसिक फाइनेंस चीजें हैं जो एनी प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर has to be known about all these things. Okay, so I'm not going to detail of all these things. I'm just giving you a, I'm just throwing you these pieces on your heads like ये भी है, ये भी है, ये भी है. Okay, then अगर अब मार्केट में उस समय सपोज लोहे का दाम 100 रुपए किलो बिक रहा है, तो मेरा कैश फ्लो जो है वो इतने का होगा। लेकिन अगर मान लो जो मार्केट में चाइना ने आके अपने लोहा डंप कर दिया, तो अब मेरा लोहे का रेट जो है बिकने का कम हो जाएगा। ये सबको तो आप लेंगे ऑप्टिमिस्टिक कॉस्ट, पेसिमिस्टिक कॉस्ट, और पिछले 5 साल 10 साल का एवरेज से एक थोड़ा एक मोस्ट फीजिबल, मोस्ट रियलिस्टिक कॉस्ट। और तीनों के बीच में आप देखेंगे कि क्या करना चाहिए और आगे मार्केट कैसे जा रहा है, उसके हिसाब से भी आपकी फिजिबिलिटी इन्फ्लुएंस होगी। कैश फ्लो कैसे होगा, ठीक है, नॉट गोइंग टू डिटेल ऑफ ऑल दिस थिंग्स, ओके। वेटेड एवरेज कॉस्ट ऑफ कैपिटल क्या है सर, तो टिपिकल इंजीनियरिंग जो है वो ऑर्डर ऑफ मैग्नीट्यूड कॉन्सेप्चुअलाइजेशन आप कर लेते हैं। वंस यू हैव कॉन्सेप्चुअलाइज्ड द प्रोजेक्ट, जिसमें आपकी आईआरआर और सब निकल गई, एंड यू स्टार्टेड इट, यू स्टार्टेड विद द प्री फिजिबिलिटी रिपोर्ट। इट्स अ टिपिकल एस्टिमेशन क्लास ऑफ AACE। AACE ये है जो हमने शुरुआत में देखा था कि AACE is the one who came with the cost estimation, okay, पिछले सेक्शन लगे cost estimation के साथ में जो आया था AACE in the evolution of the project management, okay. So these are all the steps we need to be follow. आपको टिपिकल जो है अभी जो इंडस्ट्री में जो बिग 5 हैं, व्हाट कॉल एज PMC, मैकेंजी, डेलॉयट, EY, KPMG, मार्केट स्टडी उनसे कराते हैं, फाइनेंशियल फिजिबिलिटी BCG से या किसी और से कराते हैं। फिर आप EPC कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में जाते हैं, EPC कॉन्ट्रैक्ट में जाते हैं, तो आपको स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनर्स बनाने पड़ते हैं। इन एनी प्रोजेक्ट हाउ द क्वालिटी बीन एश्योर्ड, उसका एक रोड मैप है, क्योंकि किसी भी प्रोजेक्ट में अगर आप प्रोजेक्ट लगा रहे हैं, घर बना रहे हैं या कुछ और कर रहे हैं, तो आपको दो सेट ऑफ थिंग्स विल बी देयर, वन विल बी द मटेरियल्स एंड देन सेकंड विल बी द पीपल। तो पीपल हु विल बी मेकिंग इट, सपोज आपका ईंट आ रहा है, आपकी कंक्रीट आ रही है, ये मटेरियल हो गया, इनकी आप क्वालिटी चेक करेंगे, इनको लेकर लाएंगे जब। लेकिन अगर आपका वर्कमैनशिप जब वो लगा रहा है वो होगी सर्विस, तो वो वर्कमैनशिप को भी आपको चेक करना पड़ेगा। तो जो मटेरियल और सर्विस दो प्रकार के पैरामीटर्स हैं फंडामेंटली, उनकी अपने अपने क्वालिटी चेक्स हैं और उनके अपने अपने क्वालिटी चेक्स अलग अलग स्टेजेस के हिसाब से। ये टिपिकल रोड मैप है, कैसे वर्क मेथोडोलॉजी बनती है, कैसे सेफ्टी प्लान होता है, कैसे आपको एक एक चीज को चेक करना है हर एक स्टेप में। इट्स अ क्लियर रोड मैप फॉर एनी प्रोजेक्ट वेयर द क्वालिटी एक्शंस नीड टू बी डन, ओके। सेफ्टी आपको हमेशा चेक करते रहनी है। सो दिस इज सेफ्टी को आप एक सेफ्टी के इंडेक्स बनाएं कि आज मेरे पास 100 लेबर है, 100 लेबर में से इतने मैन आ रहे हैं, इतने आदमी हैं, इतने घंटे काम कर रहे हैं, उनका एक सेफ्टी रडार बनाएं कि सेफ्टी में क्या जॉब सेफ्टी एनालिसिस हुई है, सबने क्या टूल बॉक्स किया है, सुबह सबने क्या बात की हुई है, सबको मालूम है क्या करना है, क्या सबका सेफ्टी चेक, उनके 7 पैरामीटर्स को बनाएं, हर दिन को मॉनिटर करें, तो आपको पता चलेगा कि हाउ मच यू आर अजाइल ऑन योर सेफ्टी, how much you are strict on your safety, okay. Now I'll come to project manager. मैं आपको प्रोजेक्ट के स्टेजेस को I just went through very fast to you so that you just have a glimpse कि प्रोजेक्ट में यार कुछ फाइनेंस से रिलेटेड होता है, कुछ कमर्शियल से रिलेटेड होता है, कुछ क्वालिटी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होती है, कुछ सेफ्टी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होती है, प्रोक्योरमेंट बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है, लीगल में बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है, स्टैट्यूटरी अप्रूवल्स फ्रॉम ऑल द गवर्नमेंट एजेंसीज बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होती है। तो जो प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर होगा वो कैसे होगा, वो तो एक स्ट्रीम से आएगा, वो तो कुछ BA किया होगा, बीकॉम किया होगा, इंजीनियरिंग किया होगा, इंजीनियरिंग प्रोजेक्ट तो इंजीनियरिंग किया होगा, तो इंजीनियरिंग किया होगा तो फिर वो ये फाइनेंस कैसे जाएगा, वो तो अकाउंट्स वाले जान सकते हैं। तो प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर इज अ मल्टी टैलेंटेड चेंज इंजिन्स who make targets by their own for the companies and company's bigger goal with diversified skills and acumen। तो कुछ स्किल्स और एक्यूमेन वो खुद जनरेट करता है, कोर कॉम्पिटेंसीज रहती है उसकी, और दूसरा वो बाकी सबको आउटसोर्स करता है, हायर करता है। तो उसके पास कॉम्पिटेंसी हायर करने की भी होती है, उसके पास कोर कॉम्पिटेंसी अपनी खुद की होती है और हायर करने की भी कॉम्पिटेंसी होती है कि मुझ पे तो ये कॉम्पिटेंसी नहीं है, पर जिन बाकी लोगों में से उनको मैं कैसे हायर कर लूं, उनसे कैसे काम करा लूं। दैट इज आल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इन मॉडर्न डेज फॉर एनी प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर। Competencies are very fundamental, okay. Now we'll see what are the skills, कौन सी skills होनी चाहिए एक प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर में, टिपिकल प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर में what are the skills we are looking for in any kind of project। he has to be technical expertise, उसको मालूम होना चाहिए, टेक्निकल एक्सपर्टीज तो उसकी होनी चाहिए। इंडस्ट्री प्रोजेक्ट कर रहा है पर उसको इंडस्ट्री का बैकग्राउंड नहीं मालूम है, हॉस्पिटल प्रोजेक्ट कर रहा है पर हॉस्पिटल का बेसिक फंक्शन नहीं मालूम, टेक्निकल एक्सपर्टीज तो उसकी होनी चाहिए। हमने उसको HT और LT का एक इंजीनियर हायर किया, उसको HT LT दे दिया, भैया HT LT की मैनेजर दो, लेकिन उसको हाई टेंशन लाइन में कैसा करना है, टेक्निकल कोर कॉम्पिटेंसी नहीं है, तो he cannot perform his job। टेक्निकल has to be technically competent, he should be very much smart in mapping and gauging the timelines. Timelines में अगर कोई आदमी perfect नहीं है तो project management क्या वो he cannot be holding hands in the projects. Okay, scheduling और timeline has to be perfect. He has to be critical thinking and problem solving, क्योंकि उसके अंडर में बहुत सारे लेबर रहेंगे जो आप बोलेंगे सर आज ये है वो नहीं आ पाएंगे वो होगा नहीं है, तो he should know कि किस समय आ पाएंगे किस समय नहीं आ पाएंगे और किस समय नहीं आ पाएंगे. सपोज साइट में एक्सीडेंट हो गए, अनफोर्सिन इवेंट्स हो गए. आई वाज इन जाम्बिया, अफ्रीका में था मैं. अफ्रीका में अचानक कुछ जाम्बियानाइजेशन हो गया. जाम्बिया की गवर्नमेंट ने बोला कि यार ऐसा हो गया तो अब आपको चीज करना. तो यू हैव टू बी वेरी वेरी क्रिटिकल थिंकर कि अभी हो गया तो अभी क्या करना है, अभी हो गया तो अभी क्या करना है. यू हैव टू बी वेरी इफेक्टिव. You have to be very very effective on your communication, because daily in the morning you have to come up and you have to delegate the things. You have to be very very effective communicator, because things are very dynamic. आज आपने जो निर्देश दिए हैं for a long term, but suppose tomorrow suddenly you have to give a break on the project for some or the other reason. Your communication have to be effective. आज का आपका जो मैसेज है it should come to the end person within an hour. मैनेजर के नीचे जो जितने असिस्टेंट मैनेजर्स हैं, उनके नीचे असिस्टेंट मैनेजर्स हैं, उनके नीचे जो टेक्नीशियंस हैं, उनके नीचे तो प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर हैज टू बी वेरी वेरी इफेक्टिव कम्युनिकेटर एंड ही शुड हैव अ वेरी हाई नेगोशिएशन स्किल्स. ही शुड नो द मार्केट रेट कि कोई उसको बोल रहा है कि हम यहां से कॉन्ट्रैक्ट आएंगे इतने में लगेगा, तो ही शुड नो अबाउट द मार्केट डायनामिक्स कि क्या हो रहा है. ही शुड हैव अ वेरी हाई नेगोशिएशन स्किल्स एंड ही शुड ऑलवेज हैव द कैपेसिटी ऑफ टेकिंग द रिस्क एनी टाइम ऑल द टाइम. रात को 12 बजे कोई बोले कि सर कल बारिश हो सकती है, आज रात को कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कर लेंगे और आज हमको ये करना पड़ेगा सर क्योंकि कल हमको ये करना है. अदरवाइज गवर्नमेंट की कल या पीएम का दौरा होने वाला था, रोड 4 दिन के लिए ब्लॉक हो जाएगी, आज हमको ये कर देना है. सिर्फ इंडिया में नहीं, दुनिया में हर जगह होता है. तो ये रिस्क मैनेजमेंट की इसके अंदर क्षमता होनी सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट है. इन सब की सारी क्षमताओं से सबसे पहले उसके पास होना चाहिए एक नेतृत्व की क्षमता, द लीडरशिप क्वालिटी. You know what is leadership? Can any one of you can tell me, right? What is leadership? What is leadership? To lead the project, okay. Leader में lead करने की क्षमता है. But what is leadership? Fundamentally, what is leadership? Guiding the team towards right direction. Okay. Someone with more specific answer. We have seen the definition of management early. Manager क्या होता है? Along with to reach the, okay, to reach the vision. Come good. Management जो होता है, it's management. Managers are all about making it more efficient, more effective. That is manager. Project और जो लीडर होता है, forget about project. लीडर जो होता है उसके अंदर मैनेजमेंट की क्षमता तो होनी चाहिए, लेकिन फंडामेंटली जो लीडर होता है उसके अंदर क्या क्षमता होनी चाहिए? टेकिंग इनिशिएटिव्स. ओके, तो ये इनिशिएटिव्स की क्या होती है? व्हाट इज अ लीडर?
सर सबको साथ लेके एक राइट डायरेक्शन में आगे मूव करना.
राइट डायरेक्शन में आगे मूव करना. सी, वेरी गुड मैडम, वेरी क्लोज. प्रोवाइडिंग गाइडेंस. ओके, सी आई विल टेल यू व्हाट इज लीडरशिप इज. Leadership is all about influencing the people. How much you have the capability to influence others. How much capabilities you have to influence others. आप 10 लोगों को इन्फ्लुएंस कर सकते हैं, आप 20 लोगों को इन्फ्लुएंस कर सकते हैं, आप 100 लोगों को इन्फ्लुएंस कर सकते हैं. आप कितने लोगों को इन्फ्लुएंस कर सकते हैं? इन्फ्लुएंस मतलब अगर वो सोचता है कि मैं 10 काम कर सकता हूं एक दिन में, पर आप उसको उसकी क्षमताओं को याद दिलाते हैं कि नहीं, कृष्ण ने अर्जुन की उसकी क्षमता याद दिलाई कि नहीं तुम लड़ सकते हो उनसे. 7 अक्षरी सेना है, उनकी 11 है, तुम लड़ सकते हो. समवन जो आपको रियलाइज कराता है कि आपकी क्षमता 10 नहीं है, आपकी क्षमता 50 है. The one who influences you to do bigger things, the one who come and teaches you to raise you, आपको ऊपर करता है, आपकी क्षमता बढ़ाता है या आपको आपकी क्षमता याद दिलाता है, वो लीडर होता है. आप उसको फिर वो नहीं बोलता मुझे फॉलो करो, फिर आप उसको फॉलो करने लगते हैं कि हाँ यार इसने ऐसे, तो वो लीडर होता है. और एक मैनेजर जो होता है वो जो गिवन रिसोर्सेज हैं उन रिसोर्सेज में से कैसे इफेक्टिवली और एफिशिएंटली उसको ऑप्टिमाइज कर सकता है, वो एक मैनेजर होता है. और एक जो लीडर होता है वो आपको इन्फ्लुएंस करता है, आपको इंस्पायर करता है, वो होता है एक लीडर। तो ये हर जगह होता है, ये इट्स नॉट अबाउट प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजमेंट. So the word is management, but he has to have a leadership quality. So you understand what the difference between project manager and a project leader. Okay, so these things, these qualities we have discussed, these qualities are required. There's something problem with my PPT sharing. Okay, मैं बोलूँ लगता है वही बेटर है. So you see, we have seen the qualities of a project leader, project manager. Okay, now we'll see this we have covered. Okay, so ये 7 जो स्किल्स हैं वो तो बेयर मिनिमम स्किल्स हैं. उसके अलावा और भी अब स्किल्स हो सकते हैं आपके अंदर. यू हैव टू बी अ वेरी गुड, आपके अंदर और भी कुछ क्षमता है. यू आर अ वेरी गुड, आप में हार्ड वर्किंग होना चाहिए, टीम वर्किंग होना चाहिए. दैट इज ऑल देयर, बट यू हैव टू बी मोर देन टीम वर्क. यू हैव टू बी अ लीडर. आपको बताना है कि ये करना है. और जैसे कि कल वर्मा सर ने बताया था कि टीम लीडर होता है वो, उसके अंदर तो टीम वर्किंग की क्वालिटी अपने आप निहित होती है. जो उन्होंने बताया था ना, once if you are a team leader, if you're a team worker, team member, then only you can fly high. You can, एक member थक जाएगा तो दूसरा member आता है. That's how they go to distance apart. ज़्यादा दूर तक जा सकते हैं, ज़्यादा ऊपर जा सकते हैं. तो team working, hard working, these all qualities are there. So, but I spoke about the fundamental 7 qualities. Okay. अब आप समझ चुके हैं कि एक प्रोजेक्ट में बहुत सारे डाइवर्स स्किल्स की रिक्वायरमेंट है, बहुत सारा एक्यूमेन उसको चाहिए. तो उसकी पर्सनालिटी कैसी होनी चाहिए? नाउ एनीबॉडी ऑफ यू कैन टेल मी व्हाट इज पर्सनालिटी? पर्सनालिटी इज समथिंग, पर्सनालिटी इज द कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ ट्रेट्स. एक आदमी के अंदर में कौन कौन से ट्रेट्स हैं वो उसकी पर्सनालिटी होती है. A personality is a combination of traits and the way you behave with others. That is your personality. That reflects your personality. So personality बनती है, it's a combination of nature and nurture. अगर आप किसी को एक पर्सनालिटी डेवलपमेंट की क्लास लेते हैं 1 घंटे की, तो आप उसको क्या उसकी पर्सनालिटी चेंज कर सकते हैं? आप उसको 1 घंटे की क्लास में आप उसको मोटिवेट कर सकते हैं, आप उसको इंस्पायर कर सकते हैं. आप आपके अंदर लीडरशिप क्वालिटी, तो आप उसको इन्फ्लुएंस कर सकते हैं. आप उसकी पर्सनालिटी बदल नहीं सकते. आप उसको पर्सनालिटी बदलने के लिए इन्फ्लुएंस कर सकते हैं, पर वो धीरे धीरे फिर बाद में अपनी पर्सनालिटी चेंज करेगा. पर्सनालिटी कैन नॉट बी चेंज ओवरनाइट. सो बिकॉज पर्सनालिटी इज अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ 2 थिंग्स, नेचर एंड नर्चर. आप कैसे, आप कहाँ, कैसे आप नेचुरली आप कैसे रहे, मतलब आपकी जीन्स कैसे हैं, आप कहाँ, जो भी आपकी जीन्स, आपके जेनेटिक्स कैसे हैं, दैट इज नेचर. एंड नर्चर, आप ओवर अ पीरियड ऑफ टाइम से अबाउट 20-25 इयर्स आपका नर्चरिंग कैसा हुआ, व्हाट थिंग्स हैव बीन इनकलकेटेड अंडर यू, कि आप क्या, आपको सही और आपका गलत क्या था, आपने कैसे किस चीजों को सही माना, किस चीजों को गलत माना. तो उस तरह से आप बिहेव करेंगे, तो इस तरह से आपकी पर्सनालिटी बनेगी. सो पर्सनालिटी इज अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ नेचर एंड नर्चर. पर्सनालिटी has been developed with nature and nurture, and personality has a combination of various traits. तो एक प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर की हम जब बात कर रहे हैं, जहां पर he has been to all the kinds of different acumen and different skills, जब he has to come up with कंपनी उसके ऊपर $2 बिलियन का उस पर लगा के रखी है कि वो उसमें कुछ बनाएगा, कुछ करेगा. तो जब उसके पास सारा नॉलेज है ऑफ द फाइनेंस एंड एवरीथिंग he has acquired from the different segments, अगर बीच में कोई एक फाइनेंस का कोई चार्टेड अकाउंटेंट आके बोलता है यार यहाँ पे क्यों लगा रहे हो, ये तो गलत है, इसके बदले वहां लगा रहे थे, 100 रुपए नहीं, वहां तो 200 रुपए मिल जाता आपको, तो क्या आप उसकी बात सुनेंगे? बिकॉज यू आर देयर टू क्रिएट. अब आपको मालूम है 100 रुपए की बात नहीं है, मैं कहाँ लगाऊंगा मुझे मालूम है, कौन सा प्रोडक्ट बनाऊंगा, वो प्रोडक्ट कौन से सेगमेंट के लिए रहेगा और उस सेगमेंट को कैसे डिलीवर होगा, मेरे को पूरी अगले 5 साल की पिक्चर इज क्लियर टू मी. मुझे मालूम है इसका बैक कैलकुलेशन क्या हुआ है. तो कोई मुझे कुछ बताएगा तो मैं सुनने नहीं वाला हूं, मैं शांति से अपना आई एम गोइंग टू डिलीवर इट, बिकॉज आई एम द क्रिएटर, आई हैव टू क्रिएट इट फॉर अ बेटर फ्यूचर. मुझे मालूम है, तो आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू मैं किसी को ज्यादा एंटरटेन कोई भी आदमी project manager is not going to do it because he is there to create. He knows, he has already studied all the pros and the cons. At the same time, suppose there is a brownfield project जहाँ पे आपको demolish करना है, it's just not destruction. You have to demolish it in a controlled manner so that a new and a better future can be created over it. आप खंड प्रस्थ को तोड़ के आप इंद्रप्रस्थ का आपको निर्माण करना है अर्जुन की तरह. तो you have to be at the same time, you have to be like the creator and also be a controlled demolisher at the same time. So you have to follow the mid path, but you have the flexibility to go up to this end, and at the same time you have the flexibility to go up to this end. You have to follow the mid path, but you have to have the flexibility of going to all the ends. That's how it should be. So the personality trait should be, he has to be an extraversion. I hope extraversion is clear to you all. Extraversion is the comfort level with relationships. Extraversion people tend to be generous, assertive and sociable. Social होने के लिए वो ready है, ठीक है. अब मैं इससे बात कर सकता हूँ, मुझसे बात, I'm very comfortable. Whereas on the other hand, introverts tend to be reserved, timid and are quite quiet. Okay. The second trait is most important is the highly agreeableness. Individual, it's a propensity to differ to others. मैं कितना differ कर सकता हूँ? So highly agreeable people are cooperative, warm, trusting. आप agree करते हो उससे. But low agreeable people, पता नहीं सही बोल रहे हो कि नहीं, पता नहीं. If you are not in agreement, you say I'm not in agreement. You come up with the right solution. But if you're agreeing, you have to say yes, I'm agreeing with you. So that should be like this. Has to be conscientiousness. A high conscientiousness people, it's a measure of your reliability. आप आज कितने कंसिस्टेंट है, आज आपने जो बोला कल भी क्या आप उतने ही आप एक्यूरेटली काम करेंगे, उतनी कंसिस्टेंटली काम करेंगे. एक दिन की परफॉर्मेंस नहीं. इट्स अबाउट कंसिस्टेंट एंड हाई लेवल ऑफ रिलायबिलिटी कम्स विद द कॉन्शियसनेस. A high consciousness person is responsible, organized, dependable, and is always consistent, is always persistent. Those with low in this dimension are easily distracted. आज ये किया लेकिन कल सुबह ठंड ज्यादा हो गई तो मैं दौड़ने नहीं जा पाया, फॉर एग्जांपल. तो जो होता है डिसऑर्गेनाइज होते हैं, अनरिलायबल होते हैं. तो प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर हैज टू बी अ वेरी हाईली कॉन्शियसनेस. ओके. इमोशनल स्टेबिलिटी हैज टू बी हाई. A person ability to withstand stress. आपको स्ट्रेस है, आप उसमें इमोशनली वीक हो गए, कुछ हो गया, ऐसा नहीं है. आपके साइट में एक्सीडेंट हो गया, आपके एनवायरनमेंट के नॉर्म्स कुछ चेंज हो गए, आपने कुछ एनवायरनमेंट नॉर्म्स के हिसाब से बनाया था लेकिन अचानक गवर्नमेंट ने एनवायरनमेंट नॉर्म्स चेंज कर दिए, आप जहां बना रहे थे वहां पर कुछ और प्रॉब्लम हो गई. यू हैव टू बी वेरी वेरी इमोशनली स्टेबल इन ऑल द कंडीशंस. कंडीशन विल गो वर्स, आई नो. कंडीशन कैन गो to any limit in any project management, but you have to be emotionally very very stable. You have to be openness to experience. हर प्रकार के experience के लिए you have to be very very open your hands all the time. The range of interest and fascination with novelty that should be there in any kind of project manager personality traits, fundamental traits. We call it OCEAN, OCEANs. Openness, conscientiousness, OCEAN is this highly emotional stability is neuro stability कहते हैं इसको, एन से होती है. तो for remembering it we call it ocean personality, OCEAN, ocean personality. So I hope this type of personality has to be inculcated. So who has the responsibility of creating the project managers? Personality cannot be created. देखिए सारी जो बातें हैं वो आ गई प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर की स्किल के ऊपर, और जो प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर की स्किल है वो बातें आ गई प्रोजेक्ट मैनेजर की पर्सनालिटी के ऊपर. और जो पर्सनालिटी है वो इट्स अ कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ नेचर एंड नर्चर. एंड नर्चर की ज्यादा रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी किसकी है? नर्चर की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी चंद्रगुप्त मौर्य की नर्चर की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी चाणक्य ने ली थी. स्वामी विवेकानंद की पर्सनालिटी की नर्चरिंग की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी रामकृष्ण परमहंस की थी, तभी उनकी पर्सनालिटी बन पाई. कृष्ण ने अर्जुन को सिखाया तभी वो पांडव बाद में किंग बने. चंद्रगुप्त मौर्य बाद में राजा बना. तो who has to take the responsibility of nurturing the personality of the students? It's all comes to the teacher only. So I have given you a very short and a very crisp. I hope it was short and I have delivered the specific point which I wanted to the teachers, so that project management specific wing has to be introduced in your academics. Then only अचानक हम जब इंजीनियरिंग कर लेते हैं 4 साल की, उसके बाद हम किसी प्रोजेक्ट में चले जाते हैं, उसमें आता है कि इंजीनियरिंग की टेक्निक तो एक दिस ओनली वन पार्ट ऑफ माय ऑल द रिक्वायर्ड स्किल्स. आई हैव टू हैव फर्दर मोर टेक्निक्स. I should have some form of finance knowledge also. I should know some of the commercial aspects also. I should know some of the market aspects also. Market में brand perception क्या होती है, branding में क्या किया जाता है. So one should have the knowledge of all segments. Then only can be a project manager. So I hope project manager and project management should be involved in your academics in a formal way. Okay. So there's a quote from Laurie Mears. If you want the answer, you can ask the question. Okay. I welcome all the questions now, ma'am. You can ask.
Participants, if you have any query, then you can put it in the chat box, and also
okay,
you can use the mic. Actually, it's our pleasure to have an industry expert among us. So actually, you have built a you headed a 100-bedded hospital in last year during the COVID period. You just headed a project, and this 100-bedded hospital in just 18 days. So if you want to share some experience regarding this.
Every project has to come up with some value realization, time, effort, money. But in this project, it was not meant for some output. It was meant for the value realization was saving life. When you're there to, for saving life is there, then it cannot be compared with any amount. It is not evaluated in terms of materialistic things. It is something which is very precious. So we put all our efforts in for 3 to 4 days, and a state-of-art facility was built. I can share the videos. The facility has it was a unique facility because for a COVID patient, the entire internal atmosphere and the external atmosphere, the air which is going out need to be, the entire room need to be low pressure, so that the pressure air goes out, not be circulated inside the room. So it has to be a negative pressure room. So once the air pressure which goes out, it has to be filtered. It has to be filtered. It has to go with the HEPA filter 1, 2, 3, 4 in UVGI production. And at the same time, there has to be a lot of ICUs and other stuffs, LMOs will be required. So we had a very hard time that time, and we are very happy that the project was for life saving, and we achieved it. Okay, so we can discuss more on project management. If anybody has any question, I will share my LinkedIn link also to Dolly ma'am, and Dolly ma'am can share it. Okay, then I wish you all the best, and I hope project management in formal way will also be introduced in our academics. Thank you. Thank you. Somebody was asking question, anything?
I think Dr. Krishna Sami VS has raised a hand.
Swami sir has
any query?
Difference between project manager and manager. Okay. Now somebody is asking what is the difference between project manager and manager. Madam, a manager is a manager. When you see what is the management, what is the manager task is, what is management? Anything you're doing it when you're doing the same thing with efficiency and effectiveness. If you're saving on time, effort, and money, then it is a management. Okay, in any sense, in a generic statement. When you're doing these things for a project, when you're saving the time, effort, and money, and you're making the project more efficient and more effective, it is project management. If you're doing it in the operation, it is operation management. Okay. Okay, then it was a nice session. Thank you, Dory ma'am. Thanks for inviting me once again. Thank you very much. I am very much impressed with your personality and the way you keep following us, because it's a fundamental property of a project manager. Thank you, madam. Thank you very much. And thanks to all the faculties, all the Gurujans. Pranam. Thank you.
It's our pleasure to have an industry expert among us. Thank you so much for sparing your valuable time and for giving this very informative session about the project management. You covered all the terms, that is operation, project leadership and management, types of industrial projects, project management skills, and it's really an excellent session. Since our being a teacher, a leader, the project, this management skills must be very important. And since our most of the participants are from the management background, and the participants having the uh, since they are the background, and participants having the management background, and they want to go for the PhD and having the some projects related to these terms, then they will be very much benefited by this session. So thank you so much for this very, very nice session. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks to all the participants. Link for the attendance link for the session has already put in the chat box. And it's a break time, so it's a lunch time, and our next session will start by 3 p.m. So all be connected with this link only, and